23rd July 2022. Morning Murli, Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, in order to become an heir, constantly take care that you don't perform any action against Srimad. Question. The father has two types of heir children. Who are they? Answer. One type are the surrendered children who receive sustenance directly from the mother and father. The philosophy of their karma is very deep. Others are those who live at home with their families and remain pure trustees. They definitely need to work hard to become full trustees. If they do become full trustees and they break their attachment away from everyone, they can claim a right to the full inheritance. Song. Our pilgrimage is unique. Shanti. You sweetest children heard the song, and you also understood the meaning of the song, number wise, according to your efforts. You understood it, but nevertheless, Baba explains it in detail. No one else in the world knows it. There is a lot of praise of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who is the purifier, but no one knows his praise accurately. Instead, they say that he is omnipresent. Then they even sing that he is the purifier. There must surely only be one of him who comes and purifies everything. Since they say to him, O purifier, come, he cannot be called omnipresent. This doesn't enter anyone's intellect. Bharat was pure and it is now impure. You were the masters of the pure world and are now in the impure world. You know that Baba is once again making you into the masters of the pure world. The one who makes you into the masters has come again. This is your life pilgrimage and its memorial have continued on the path of devotion in the form of those pilgrimages. Your children know that the worthy of worship deities who became worshippers have become Brahmins and will now once again become deities. Only the Father sits here and tells you the deep philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action. In the future, new world, your actions will be neutral. As are the king and queen, so the subjects. All the rest will be in the land of peace. This is a very easy thing to understand. Bharat was the land of happiness. They were completely voiceless and their deity names are very well known. No other names are mentioned. The sun dynasty Lakshmi and Narayan, and then the moon dynasty Ram and Sita. It is said to be their dynasty. No one else's dynasty continues for that long. The Christian dynasty only continues for a short time. It isn't their sovereignty at the beginning. After half their time, when the number of people in that religion has increased, the kingdom begins. Edward, George, etc. continue to change. First, second, etc. They keep changing at short intervals. This is the only dynasty that continues for 1250 years. There cannot be any change in this. Only the names of the sun and moon dynasties continue. It is understood that there will be different names, forms, times, and places. The dynasty continues for a long time. There isn't any change. The father sits here at this time and teaches you to perform good actions. Your children mustn't cause anyone sorrow. You are all sitting here to study. Many also stay in their own homes. Even while living at home, you can become heirs. The philosophy of karma of the children who live here and are sustained by the mother and father is also unique. Those who live outside and live as a trustees by considering everything to belong to Baba also became heirs. Yes, they definitely do have difficulties. When all attachment is broken away from everyone and there is full faith, you surrender everything to Him. You become trustees of His property as long as you live. No one else dies alive in this way. It is only when they are about to die that they make someone a trustee. They surrender everything here. Baba says, children, live as a trustees. On the path of devotion too, you have been saying that God gave you everything. The Father says, children, you are now sitting personally in front of the Father. You now have to remove your attachment from everything, including your own bodies and from all the things you have been saying that God gave you. When He comes, I will send myself to Him. I will hand over everything to Him. He doesn't have to build any property here. He doesn't take anything. In fact, He gives. He said, just be a trustee and continue to ask how to use everything because a mistake can happen at any time. It does take time to become a firm trustee. Baba knows that it will take time. Only by becoming a trustee can you become an heir. Even those who are living here become trustees. Baba says, I give you the sovereignty of heaven in return. You have to take your next birth in the land of immortality. Become a trustee and also remain cautious. Generally, it is the poor who become instruments and claim a high status. They became heirs. Some will become masters towards the end of the Moon dynasty. Until then, they will continue to serve those who are their seniors. Even now, there are some who don't make any progress at all. It is then understood that perhaps that person doesn't have anything in his or her fortune. By doing service, they will attain some status towards the end. That is, if they still remain here. If they leave here, they would receive the lowest status of all among the subjects. There are many who are maggots. They don't make any progress at all. They don't understand anything at all. Only the Father sits here and explains to you the philosophy of action, sinful action, and neutral action. If they don't perform any good actions here, their sinful actions continue to increase. You would say that those are their parts in the drama. They too are required so that they stay in the kingdom and continue to serve. The servants will then continue to make progress and will claim a kingdom towards the end. If you perform such actions while staying with God, you will be given a lot of punishment and your status will also be low. That is why you are told not to perform such sinful actions. Otherwise, the sins will increase. If you don't do service but just continue to eat here and don't even study, then just see what the deep philosophy of such a karma will be. The Father is teaching you such actions that they enable you to claim the kingdom of heaven. You have to perform such actions according to Srimad. You can see the result of devilish actions. They became poor and as sinful as Ajamal. There are some like that here too. Some became emperors, whereas others became maids and servants and claimed a status at the end. There are such ones whom the Father knows very well. If while living here you don't perform good actions, you don't have that intoxication either. The Father sits here and explains to you the philosophy of karma. The Father says, I am the Lord of the poor. I have to carry out establishment with the pennies of the poor. I am not the Lord of the rich. Generally, it is the mothers who are poor. They don't possess anything. They are not even half partners. Otherwise, it is only if a will is made that a half share goes to her. It is only the sons in the home who are heirs. Although the government has made different laws nowadays, you know that Bharat is now totally poor. Kumaris too are generally poor until they go to their in-laws' home. She receives everything when a deal is made for vice. This is a vicious world. Viceless people never put their palms together and bow down to everyone. No one knows that those who are viceless are the ones who fall into vice. Krishna's devotees think that he is present everywhere. God never dies and never takes rebirth. It is only now that you have this knowledge. You know that Lakshmi and Narayan were the highest of all, the masters of heaven. Sita and Ram cannot be called the masters of heaven. You are enlightened about that at this time. The father explained, since you are now receiving salvation, you mustn't perform any actions that cause degradation. First of all, let go of body consciousness. The best action of all is to remember the Father and to remain soul conscious. Continue to check yourselves. Did any vice enter me? There mustn't even be greed. Since everything belongs to God, why should I have any greed? We only do what the Father tells us to do. The Father feels each one's pulse very carefully. He also looks at each one's chart. Those who are very poor still try to save 15 to 20 rupees and give that to Baba. They make their future. The Father advises you, keep some in your bank account. You can give 5 rupees and keep 10 in the bank. So they receive Srimad. They even go hungry and still give something to shivbaba. Shivbaba uses this in order for you to stay here. This Brahma Baba is Shivbaba's one and only son. Why would this one collect anything since he has given everything to serve the mothers? He gave everything away. Your daughters then receive the inheritance for 21 births. You know that the deities had a pure household religion. They have now become impure. Therefore, Baba explains this one is also trustee. He has made you mothers into trustees. You just look after all of this, and all attachment is thereby broken. The Father has given you visions of how you became the masters of the world. You can also see the preparations for destruction. However, no one understands who it is who carries out destruction. There definitely must be someone who is inspiring all of this. They understand that destruction is going to take place. Therefore, God must definitely be here. However, what form would he be in? How could Krishna come? Although they have given many the form of Krishna, that it's still artificial. Many take on a form of Krishna and deceive others. Some have faith in those non living idols. Therefore, they have visions of that one. They go and cling to him. Because Krishna is the most lovely child of heaven, he has a lot of attraction. You have to claim a huge inheritance from Baba. The Father sits here and explains to you about karma. If any of you ask Baba, he can instantly tell you that you don't understand anything. The actions being performed are such that they are sinful. There is a lot of body consciousness. They continue to mention Shiv Baba's name, but there are many such devotees of Shiv Baba. His devotees are sitting here in Kashi. They have this mantra Shiv Kashi Vishwanatha Ganga, means the universal Lord of the Ganges. They don't understand the meaning of that at all. They believe that the Ganges emerge through that one. This is why they go and sit on the banks of the Ganges. They believe that they will be liberated there. They continue to chant Shiv Kashi, Shiv Kashi. They then show that Bhagirath, means the lucky child, brought the Ganges. Will they become pure from impure through the Ganges? They call out to the purifier. No one knows who he is or how he teaches easy Raj Yoga. You now know how you can remember shivbaba. Your pilgrimage is of remembrance. Your physical pilgrimages have now ended. Those pilgrimages are physical, whereas this pilgrimage is spiritual. Then Father continues to say, children, remember your home. This is a dirty world and a dirty old body. I am your father. I will take you back home. So many will die in this Mahabharat war. There are millions of human souls. Where would they go? They will then go and live in the sections of their own religions like stars. That is called the incorporeal world. A world is where many people live. If they say that they will merge into the Brahma element, that is not a world. It is said that the incorporeal world is where souls reside. They then have to come here to play their parts. This drama is imperishable. There is no annihilation. The population of human beings continues to grow from the golden age to the iron age. There will not be any other religions there. You have this knowledge here. This knowledge will not remain there in the golden age. At this time, the Father is making you into the seers of the three aspects of time, the same as He is. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, while alive, remove your attachment from everyone, including your body, and live as a trustee. Perform elevated actions, never cause anyone sorrow. Second point, don't have greed for anything. Look at your chart every day and see that you don't have any vices. Renounce body consciousness and perform the elevated action of remembering the One Father. Blessing. May you be a master ocean of forgiveness and teach others with your form of forgiveness. Explanation. If a soul tries to make you shake or has an attitude of harming you, transform or forgive that one with your attitude of benevolence. If you are not able to transform that one, then become a master ocean of forgiveness and forgive him. Your forgiving that soul will become a lesson for him. Nowadays, by teaching others, some understand whereas others don't. However, to forgive someone means to give him blessings of good wishes and cooperation. Slogan. Only those who are constantly in a happy state are left by themselves and everyone else. Om Shanti